after a quick sprint through France and one side of the Alps. We are now in Austria for races 11 and 12. This is round 6 of the World Super Touring Championship. Adrian Margaris here alongside Michael Swinnerton. And when we opened the curtains this morning, the summer spree we've been on for the last 3 rounds has decided to give us a combo breaker. It is clearly a wet weather start. We saw that when we opened the curtains this morning.
Yeah, you're not wrong. This is going to be really interesting. Qualifying was in the bone dry, and it's given us a very, very mixed up grid here to look forward to. But with this wet weather, I mean, it's not currently raining, but the track is wet. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there.
Surprise of the top 10 is the yellow Privateer Alphas. Good performance from Liam Hartley in the reverse grid at Spain, but Dumas, the regular, has also given us a bit of a surprise. Alpha obviously doing the business as a works effort, front row lockout, and therefore the Privateers are not that far behind, nor are the other rear-wheel drive BMWs. But Ingram, being a title threat, it seems, second potentially, has been leading the championship, has been second, third as of right now, could be the thorn in the side. We'll just have to wait and see, and hopefully the spray doesn't make us miss any action through the back. Away go the 2 Alphas at the front, away go the other rear-wheel drive cars as well. It is Alpha 1, 2, 3, 4, but Schneider about to put paid to that particular gambit, or maybe not. Hartley up to 4th. Ingram still being there. Not too bad a spree, I guess. We've got Rydell's Privateer Honda doing well, but the other Hondas are not where we expect them to be, mid-pack and further down. Now, braking area for Remus, the second braking area on the track. It's Alpha 1, 2, 3, 4. Hartley and Dumas now in order of experience, with Wittmann leading Fisichella second, Dumas and Hartley, Ingram being the first front-wheel drive runner. Schneider, Ekstrom doing well in the other Volvo. Webber down to 8th, but there goes Schneider. Here comes Ekstrom. Still 3 wide through Schlossgold there as Kubica, one of the Fords, and Rydell trying to make their presence known to each other. Infield then, Rauchenwerth.
Yeah, it's really good to see Ekstrom up here in the top 10. He's had a very torrid time of things so far. I mean, he got a pair of top 10s at Brazil, but he's been struggling to even get points finishes so far. So this is really good to see.
Almost. Rint corner coming up.
Ingram on charge mode again. There he goes around the 2. Oh, that's a lot of extra curb.
And that's the driver that we... Yeah, Dumas is the driver. We found out eventually that the reason Ingram fell back at Spain in race 2 is because Dumas was there in the braking area for the La Caixa hairpin, and that's the reason why he was plumb last early doors. No need to worry about that here. Hartley on Dumas, side by side. Nice and presentable, but not what you want when there's a big battle behind trying to... Or maybe it is working as a sort of park the best effort, but Ekstrom obviously once in.
I mean, they parked the bus, but Ekstrom still found a way to get alongside. He's going to have to go the long way around through the hairpin, but he's going to hang tough. I don't know if he's going to make the position stick. He's now got Schneider on his inside instead of an Alfa Romeo. I think the car's got good speed. Didn't really show it in qualifying. Well, to a degree. He still qualified in the top 10.
Mark Salo in the Ford as well,
in the race.
Surprise Cobra into the top 10, and that's going to be Zanardi taking on Rydell and Kubica. The 2 Renaults also not making themselves look good in qualifying either.
Yeah, and Honda in this and weather, Renault definitely missed the mark with the setups. Ford also to a degree. It's been, yeah, very odd mixed up grid where we're seeing manufacturers further back than we're used to seeing, and privateers further forward than we're used to seeing.
And a bit of an echo at the front. It was BMW 1-2 at Catalonia Race 1. Now it's the Alphas 1-2. Was a sizable gap, but Ingram obviously wants his say on the matter. He's closing in.
Yeah, he's pulled away from the two
Hartley
DHL Alphas. So he's in the biggest of club sandwiches right now, already going offline to try and find some more water. So this track is drying up pretty quickly here.
Looks very dry there. No spray at all.
Yeah,
only offline.
Yeah, they're clipping spray as they hit the curb. Of course, that's distributing more water around the place.
Schneider evident with the offline spray as well. On the exit of Niki Lauda curve.
Here comes Ekstrom. Is he going to get a 2-for-1 offer on DHL Alphas? Not quite.
The wet of the grass might have put pay to that as well.
All these cars are on intermediate tyres, so expect to see everybody pit pretty soon for dries.
If not this lap, the next.
He's got one, he's now got the other, so Ekstrom's moved himself up to 4th place. This car is working the best it's done all year so far.
Volvo making up for a poor effort in manufacturer standpoint at Catalonia.
Yeah. They lost a lot of ground to Renault and the rest, seeing as they're currently 6th in the manufacturer standings. Ingram went from 1st to 3rd in the drivers' standings. And now look, the sun's out.
I was going to try it a little bit more.
Are people going to pit this time by, or are we going to hold off for another lap? We're going to hold off for another lap. Okay.
One in. You can see one in already, and it is Ingram.
Oh, it is Ingram. Ah. He's been bitten before by staying out too long on an old set of tyres.
This might actually work wonders, because the first one on to the drier tyre will be in a better position once everyone else is.
Yeah, he might
just
be able
does
to
not look
leapfrog.
good when he is definitely last as of right now. Wittmann still leads Fisichella. There is a seismic gap to Ekstrom in 3rd. Hartley and Dumas still 4th and 5th then. Out of the pits comes Ingram to a clear and dry line, and the daylight, you can see in the bright dust of greys on the track where the line is, where the dry line is.
And all the clouds have disappeared as well, so this track could dry up very, very quickly here. Once they're on dry tyres, they will have to be a little bit careful about going offline, because you can see the spray getting kicked up there. So there will be the potential and the danger for sliding off the road on slick tyres.
I'm surprised that no other driver further back was informed by their pit crew, look, come in, one's already in, let's see what happens. The only person that's seeing what happens is Ingram, and already into the infield section. Lead Alpha stays out. Second Alpha also stays out. And everyone seems to be following suit. We're not seeing anyone make a dive for the pits, which is surprising, really. I think that Ingram, considering how dry it looks, might be in a good position here by the time everyone else eventually does, because if they're going to stay out on their inters, there's less grip.
Yes.
And also going to wear more.
Yeah, absolutely. The biggest tell, of course, is going to be once Ingram has completed his outlap here, what is his next lap time going to be? Presuming he doesn't make any major mistakes, he might, in theory, completely smash that 141 that Wittmann currently has.
So not breaking the bank right now. We're going to see that next time he hits the lead, the lap beam.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
the gap to Fisichella.
There's been a lot of shuffling that we've kind of missed here in the mid-pack, because Zanardi's now up to 7th. Weber has fallen back to 8th after getting a very good rear-wheel drive start. Wirtz has made his way into the top 10. Schneider's down to 10th. Thompson, Bianchi, Palou have all cleared privateer cars, with Lammers now following suit. So The jumbled up order to the grid that we saw at the beginning of the race is quickly disappearing, with the 2 DHL cars and Zanardi's Ford being the only outliers in that so far.
Now, leader still stays out. Second place, also staying out. What's Ekstrom going to do? Is he going to maybe get
They're all
it? No, he
staying
doesn't.
out. They all think the track's too wet still, but Ingram hasn't thrown it off.
2 DHL cars comfortably poised. Here is a slick shod Ingram staying online. Yep. Try to avoid the curbs.
Grip. Clipped the curb a little bit there, but you didn't see the spray is the important bit. So even offline is starting to dry up as well now.
This
We'll
looks promising.
Does.
And they're already not exactly.
It's only by
breaking
0.2, but it is still a fastest lap, so he is catching. Maybe
Definitely
he did come in a lap too early.
Wider line. The dryness is definitely completely off the racing line as well. A few more patches here and there maybe. Hartley, Salo ahead of Dumas, so Salo looks like he was down the inside of
there he goes.
Hartley.
Takes a lot of curb, which can only help him with these intermediates on. Still kicking up a little bit of water around there. And there goes Wirtz going past Webber. So Wirtz is doing another charge up the grid like he did in Barcelona.
And there's Bianchi behind the 2 BMWs as well. And there goes Nicky Lammers.
Polo having a little fight. Lammers has fallen back behind Marino.
Leader still staying out. Everyone else following suit. Nobody beating Ingram's lap for obvious reasons then.
With how dry this track is, they've got to assume that cars are starting to burn out their intermediates. As we see the 2 Beamers having a little civil war at turn 1.
Webber inadvertently keeping his tyres cool there for a moment.
Yeah, we're also not seeing any of the cars deliberately drive offline to try and cool the tyres down. So whether this is a deliberate play just to use up the inters and then go on to dries, don't know.
There goes Schneider.
Oh, sideways! Took a lot of inside curve there, which rotated the car very quickly. This is a very even drag race now.
All the while helping Ingram gain on this lot.
And allowing Wirtz to escape further on up the road to get after Zanardi.
That wasn't clever from Webber.
Well, this is another squabble that's happening just behind them, Palou and Thompson. These two have been side by side for quite a bit now. Thompson still sticks his nose in. Oh, Palou has a bit of a sideways moment. Takes a lot of exit curb. They're still side by side. You haven't figured out who wants 12th place just yet, and you've got to be careful because Marino is right there to pick up the pieces if you have a disaster.
Thompson still 12th. Honda. Now we're getting to the leaders in. Definitely, everyone has decided. I'm surprised at this that they never once thought one's gone in surely.
Especially seeing as, well, maybe it was the fact that the fastest lap Ingram set wasn't by a big enough margin. They thought maybe they could get away with it.
Ingram will end up being in the lead of this race by the time the leaders would have exited at pit lane.
Well, Whitman is going out now. Here goes Ingram round turn 1.
Into the lead.
He's cleared everybody. So he did leapfrog everybody. It took a little bit longer than we expected.
Why no one else had that penny drop is beyond me, but it does mean that we've got a podium where both Volvo drivers are on it.
Yeah,
if
Ekstrom's
things
managed
stay the way
to
they are.
leapfrog Fisichella in the pits, so the Volvo pit crew doing a little bit better than the Alfa Romeo one there.
The DHL team falling back a little bit more now. Hartley and Dumas 6th and 8th.
Salo getting himself up to
Fisichella.
4th.
Well then. This is the stuff they weren't able to afford, even if it is Zanardi in 7th and not Palou down in 11th.
It's insane to see how well that brand new Cobra Motorsports team have done. This is a very big step up for them.
DHL team didn't expect the rivalry and privateers to be in their hands. They would have been the ones running away with it. Maybe with Tamiya in close pursuit.
Or the singular PKP team, because they are running a BMW and we know how quick that car can be.
Certainly.
But given the slightly lackluster performance of the 3M team, which were the last Ford privateer team in this championship, it's the pace of this Cobra team and that Ford Focus has really blindsided pretty much everybody, including their own 2 drivers.
Speaking of 3M, doing a sensible job in the American Championship, splitting with that's the ST2 class in the American version.
Yes.
They are trying a stronger muscle car aspect at the lead pack. That might be an offshoot for season 2 and keeping the formula much like this for season 2, when we look forward to perhaps giving you that coverage at some point. We'll have to see what happens. But for the time being, Alfa in a good position for the manufacturers, but Volvo also making up for a bad showing in Spain, in Catalonia, being 1st and 3rd. BMW could and should be better. Same for the Renault team, definitely same for the Hondas. Questions might be being asked of Jason Thompson. If drivers like Zanardi in lesser machinery are able to put better performances in.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a serious role reversal to what we saw at Barcelona, with the Volvos doing so well here. Although Ingram has, I think he's now being caught by Wittmann, because his tyres are 2 laps older. Yeah. It's going to make a difference.
Let's see how quick Wittmann is going to be, because Ingram has been on a flyer.
Did get the fastest lap down to a 38, but here comes Wittmann with a 37.6.
There we go. But is anyone else? There we go. Salo Fisichella. Okay. Why they didn't come in sooner? This is the very aggressive Salo move on Ekstrom there. Up to 3rd. Ford will be happy, but maybe not the organisers.
Yeah, Salo kind of shoved his way past Ekstrom there. So showing that Ford Focus is working well, and everybody is catching Ingram at this point. Bianchi now with the fastest lap in a 34.0.
And he's mid-pack.
He's outside the top 10, I think.
Here comes Ekstrom again.
Yeah, Ekstrom not done with this. Salo may have shoved his way past, but here comes the counter-attack. 2 wheels on the wet stuff. Got to be careful, but he gets it done much cleaner.
Ekstrom showing how it's done. No aggression at all. Could easily have been aggression, given how much of a sour move that was from Salo. Good to see a Ford doing so well, but not that particular way, perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen fireworks from Ford Focuses at this track before, with how hilariously sideways they got at some of the corners. Salo is definitely not done with this. He wants that podium finish. He got one at Brazil. It's been a while since his last win. He went winless last season. He nicked a race win at Brands Hatch the season before. So he's definitely hungry for that success again.
No wobble on the exit of Rindt or Red Bull Mobile, the final turn.
So Ekstrom might have a go at Wittmann here. Sends it.
That might have been a bit more aggressive.
Through he goes. So Ekstrom now up to 2nd. This car running very, very well. I was worried that Ekstrom might start falling back once the track dried out and he had a bit of a wet setup on, but that's clearly not the case. He's getting on up the road after his teammate as Salo tries to force his way past. Fisichella has come to join the party.
This shouldn't be the David and Goliath story, but we know how well Alpha have been. We know how poor Ford have been. Very promising to see Salo doing so well despite the aggressiveness. Ekstrom and
For the
Ingram having a
lead.
battle. So those tyres definitely stronger in the latter part of the race with 2.5 to go.
I think Ingram just sort of let him through a little bit there. Didn't fight as hard as he could have done.
Long
He's
game.
being smart and wanting the point, and and obviously
Exactly.
Ingram has a race win already, and Ekstrom has had such an awful time of things.
All the while, Hartley, Zanardi, Duma, 6th, 7th, 8th. Privateers promising and holding up the rest of the works efforts from Webber, Wirtz, Palou and Bianchi.
Palou once again in 11th place, like he was for race 1 at Barcelona. He might be trying to take 10th off of Wirtz. I'm surprised the Renaults haven't made their way through the traffic a little bit more aggressively than they have so far. They've made up a couple of spots, but definitely not what I was expecting.
Well, that's happening. Salo still threatening a P3.
Not quite that
And
time.
he might be pulling some teeth to try and get it. Maybe Wittmann want that to happen. Maybe. Who wants to get rid of their teeth this early?
Is he going to try anything into the braking zone here? Yes, is the answer.
And that's a lot cleaner, but there's Fisichella. Salo bailed out of that.
Wittmann managed to hold the momentum around the outside.
And any of these 5, with a lap and a half of goodness to go, could be in a winning position if anything, if all hell breaks loose.
Absolutely. Looks like Ekstrom is just starting to pull away from Ingram a little bit now. Ingram maybe conserving his tyres. Salo's now fallen off the back of Wittmann. I don't know whether he'll be able to mount a counter-attack, depends on how well he does the last 2 corners. But he's got to be careful, because Fisichella is there, and Fisichella can pounce. And is looking like he might try. No, never mind, just has a look, just fills the rear view mirrors. Running distraction. There's a good bit of sideways from Salo. Salo showing off his rallycross background there.
That's the sort of position we saw Ford's in a number of times in the past. More chances for Fisichella to pounce with 1 to go then. Promising manufacturer front row for the reverse grids then. All the while Ekstrom, Ingram, Wittmann is your top 3.
Up the hill they go.
Remus for one more time. Volvo 1-2 gap to Wittmann.
Yeah, Salo now just a bit too far back to do anything to try and get 3rd place. He might have used up all of his stuff in trying. Looks like Wittmann might actually have a go at Ingram here for 2nd. The 1-2 finish is in jeopardy.
Leads to wonder, did Ingram pit too early perhaps?
I'd say ultimately no, as he's ended up 2nd, and he qualified 4th and went backwards because he had rear-wheel drive cars all around him. So he
top 3.
Worked his way back up to 3rd, so in pitting early, it's given him a net gain of 1 position.
Salo with potential instability on the exit of Rint Corner. We could see Fisichella make a dive bomb for P4, but across the line it's a Volvo 1-2 Ekstrom, the Volvo stalwart. Ingram being a regular now with that team. Very good day for Sweden, or for Ekstrom and Volvo specifically. Maybe not for Felix Rydell further back, and definitely not for the single solitary point that Honda as a works effort have put in. Jason Thompson being the only points holder in this particular race. Red Flag Racing's Crown Athlete Keeping up appearances, did well in Spain, 18th for race 1, and the Tamiya's just not even getting a visible sighting across the line towards the end there. It's hard to compare with Catalonia, that it was a much more entertaining race 1, even if it was because the weather at the start gave it a bit more spice there, Swinny.
Yeah, the rain certainly helped. I don't think there's any on the radar for race 2, but this place can always surprise us. We've got Verts on pole, so we'll see if he can get another race 2 victory. He's apparently quite good at those. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. That was the Red Bull Ring always delivers because of the long straights. You can get some slipstreaming opportunities down, and the heavy braking zones always leads to people trying dive bombs and sends. So we'll just look forward to more of that in race 2.
The rear-wheel drive threat for race 2 from BMW, and perhaps one or two of the DHL Alphas, maybe. So yeah, more entertainment to come, and looking forward to it already. We'll see you soon. Good racing, everyone.